Wow, look at that. Oh my gosh. They weren't kidding. Hey Trippers, this is Trippin Traci. Today's trip brings us to Mammoth Cave National Park. We're gonna take a cave tour. Trip with me. I'm very thankful for this beautiful day that we have here after 3 days of cold, rainy weather.
Continue straight.
It's a rainy day here at Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky. I'm not plugged into shore power right now, and my van electrical system has been working. Unfortunately, the weather is supposed to be cold and rainy. I'm going to make some coffee, have my breakfast, and finish editing my video of Featherstone Farm. It's a little bit spotty here with the internet, but I have been able to get on better than I was expecting, so I'm happy about that. To take a shower, I use these, and they work very well. I've been happy with these. I had a different kind, and I cannot remember the brand name, but I like these better, so I think I'm going to stick with this brand. I never thought I'd say this, but I think I'm liking the Dunkin' Donuts blend better than the Starbucks. We finally have a nice sunny day here at Mammoth Cave National Park. The trees are all bare in this campground. Well, most of them. Reservations for cave tour tickets are strongly recommended as they sell out weeks in advance. We're gonna go take a look in the visitor center. There are many different cave tours to choose from a fully wheelchair accessible tour, short and long walking tours, lantern tours, and adventurous crawling tours. Here we have some tour information and a weather forecast for the day. At 405 miles in length, Mammoth Cave is the longest cave in the world. The most common rock in Mammoth Cave is limestone. Limestone is a sedimentary rock that allows cave passages to easily form because of its chemical makeup and ability to be dissolved by acidic groundwater. Shale is a cap rock that serves as a sort of roof that protects the limestone layers and cave system below from leaks. This is one of the reasons that much of Mammoth Cave is dry. While limestone makes up the majority of Mammoth Cave, and shale and sandstone serve as its protective layer, other rocks contribute to the cave's beauty and geology, such as dolomite, siltstone, chert, and conglomerate. The exploration of Mammoth Cave dates back between 5,000 to 4,000 years ago. By 12,000 BC, meaning before Christ, prehistoric people mined gypsum and other minerals from the passageways of Mammoth Cave and other caves found in the region. These prehistoric explorers visited the upper 3 levels of Mammoth Cave and discovered over 19 miles of cave passageways. In response to the Great Depression, President Franklin Roosevelt created the New Deal, a series of economy-boosting programs which included the creation of the Civilian Conservation Corps. On April 5, 1933, the CCC called on young men between the ages of 18 and 25 who were willing to work hard on long and laborious tasks. They have some great exhibits in there. I'm gonna get this sticker and this bat. It's so cute and soft for Taylor. Their gift shop is awesome and very busy. Look at those huge mugs.
Can you just open that to see how big the t-shirt is?
I'm just sitting here in the visitor center waiting for my tour. It's going to depart in about 45 minutes. Look, there's a love bug on me. I think we're supposed to meet in Shelter A. I'm gonna have to check.
Check it out.
Shelter A is the correct shelter. Mammoth Cave National Park is more than a cave. It has rolling hills, deep river valleys, and it's the world's longest known cave system. I think that's where the cave begins, but I'm not sure. I'm very thankful for this beautiful day that we have here after 3 days of cold, rainy weather. Some cave tours require a short bus ride to and from the cave entrance. Be sure to fully read the tour descriptions before purchasing your tickets. Everybody's putting jackets on. I forgot a jacket. It's supposed to be pretty cold on there. I think it said 56 degrees, so I'll be fine.
But as we make our way down deeper in the cave, the walls start to come in, the ceiling gets lower, and we eventually get to a place called Fat Man's Misery. Now, Fat Man's Misery is about as wide as I am from my waist down. Up around my torso, it kind of bows out like a mushroom, okay? I go through sideways. I'm also kind of too tall for the passageway, so I have to kind of switch down like this. And we're just like snaking our way through Fat Man's Misery, okay? Now, see kids out there, this is great, but parents, guardians, I'm gonna warn you. I've never seen kids so concerned for you.
For thousands of years, Mammoth Cave has drawn people from all walks of life into its dark, subterranean depths. Here they endured and left an everlasting impression on the history and culture of the South Central Kentucky region. The cave's miles of hollow halls were already thousands of years old when the first human beings came on the scene. The people who have come to Mammoth Cave over the years represent a crazy quilt of backgrounds, native and foreign, young and old, rich and poor. After the Civil War ended, Mammoth Cave was transitioned from a saltpeter production facility into a world-renowned tourist destination that African Americans also helped create. Some of the early guides were young enslaved men such as Stephen Bishop, Matt Bransford, Nick Bransford, and Alfred Krogan. These men, along with many others, discovered and helped develop the cave tour routes that enhanced the visitor experience throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries. Each enslaved guide eventually saw his freedom, but their life was fraught with hardship in a time where the country was divided on their place in society. Their stories and discoveries continue to live on within the words you will hear on our cave tours of today. In 2004, the Bransford family once again officially returned to the cave. Jerry Bransford, Matt's great-great-grandson, began working as a cave guide for the National Park Service at Mammoth Cave, continuing the family tradition. Jerry often shares stories of his ancestors' experiences as enslaved and free guides with his tour groups in the very places those stories were made.
I never knew I was going to be here as a tour guide, but my father, David Bransford, made sure that we knew who we were, where we came from, and the contribution that old kinfolks provided to make this such a successful cave system. The generations that were in slavery here would have been my great-great-grandpa, Madison, and Nicholas, and they were the first two to arrive here from Nashville, Tennessee. So Nicholas and Madison Bransford, my kinfolk, were brought here at age 15 and 17 years of age. Their owner leased them for $100 a year each as two of the three original slave guides in Mammoth Cave.
In 1839, Dr. John Krogan of Louisville, Kentucky, who suffered from tuberculosis, purchased the Mammoth Cave property for $10,000. Dr. Krogan was interested in the cave in part as a possible sanitarium for tuberculosis. Tuberculosis, also known as the White Plague, was a leading cause of death in the 19th and early 20th centuries. Visitors and miners had reported feeling distinctly well after spending time in the cave. Dr. Krogan hoped the environment would be restorative and therapeutic for tuberculosis patients, and subsequently established an experimental hospital treatment facility within the cave. Improvements and public tours of the cave system continued during these medical experiments. As the weeks wore on, patients ultimately died inside the cave, their bodies laid out on what is now known as corpse rock. Dr. Krogan despondently returned to the surface with the remaining survivors. The experiment was not repeated, and the wood frame huts were dismantled, while the 2 stone cottages remain along Broadway within the Mammoth Cave Historic District.
Walking through here, has this reminded you of anything?
The movie Descent.
The movie Descent? Okay, that's fair.
Ghost stories.
Mentioned ghost stories, scary stories.
Many park guides report having strange experiences during the blackout part of tours. On one occasion, 2 park guides were taking a group through the chief city room when a woman said, "Who is that up there among the rocks?" The guides looked where the woman was pointing and saw a man holding a lantern atop a formation called Sacrifice Rock. The man wore a long-sleeved shirt and old drooping-style hat like that worn by the slave guides. Though the man could be seen from 3 different angles, the park rangers agreed that the image must have been created by a series of shadows.
So, what they read about in books, and they were getting kind of scary books at the time, like Frankenstein. All right, those scary stories we celebrate around Halloween. Dracula, Gothic novels, all right, full of dark and creepy places. Well, here you go.
The rock beds of Mammoth Cave formed about 320 to 360 million years ago. However, the passages of the cave did not start forming until about 10 to 15 million years ago, when streams and rivers that were flowing over the surface allowed water to sink in and enter the rock beds through small cracks. The cave is still forming today as water moves downward through these large and small passages to reach the water table, and underground rivers continue to flow out of the cave and into the Green River. There are currently 5 distinct levels of passageways within Mammoth Cave. These consist of 4 fossil levels and the modern river level, which is the lowest level located over 300 feet beneath the surface. The highest passages formed until about 2 million years ago, when research speculates that Ice Age activity altered the amount of water flowing into the cave, and the remaining cave streams descended to lower levels of the cave.
People crosses. Now, I know what you're saying. Those are actually done with candles. It's called candle smoke wrapping. Now, they didn't have black spray paint back then, but they did have very smoky homemade candles. And I think someone behind me was asking, how they get away up high on the ceiling. And what they would do is they would put a candle on the end of a stick, and they'd hold the stick up there. So it was like an early go-go gadget arm. And you can trust the date for the most part. So 1838, 1840, you know, whatever date you see next to them, that's authentic. There are two exceptions that I know of. One, there's a place in the cave where King Tut wrote his name in 2002 BC. That's not real. And there's another one where George Washington wrote his name in 1756 or something. That's not real. Now, with that being said,
No choice, right? That's right. That was difficult for me, extremely difficult. The most difficult I've done since I started my channel, actually in years. It challenged me because of my fear of heights and also because I'm very out of shape, but hardly made it up. I had to stop a few times. That was fun, but extremely challenging. I know I'm going to be hurt in the next few days. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That helps me out on YouTube. And don't forget, subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, I will bid you adieu and to stay trippy. Hey trippers, this is Trippin' Traci. Today's trip brings us to Mammoth Cave National Park. We're gonna take a cave tour. Trip with me.